And hello, everybody. It is Thursday, March 24th, a beautiful sunny day outside. Little snow overnight. We're not going to talk about that. And it's another weekly real estate update. I have a very special guest today. Really, Jaden's better half. We just never really, we have her on from time to time. But Anita Lemke from Anita Mortgage, welcome.
Hi, thank you, Mark, for having me. I'm so happy to step in for Jaden today.
Yeah, and he's traveling today, so you were gracious enough to help us out. We got some really interesting topics that you're gonna talk about here in a couple of minutes with regards to refinancing, locking in interest rates as they rise very quickly right now, as well as refinance. So let's get to the stats first. And what can I tell you? It's the spring market in Calgary, right, Anita? Like we were just talking before we went live. It's like we're both very busy. And it doesn't seem to be slowing down. What is slowing down a little bit are these new listings. So if we look at, starting from the end of February, we had a weekly new listing of detached of 429, and then we skyrocketed all the way to 642. And it's like, hey, we're going to have all this inventory for people to buy. And then it's started doing this. So we're down to 516, then 422. So slight bump up to 431 this week. The solds, what can I tell you? It's just like the Calgary Flames. They're on fire right now. 551. Anita's a Canucks fan, but don't tell anybody that.
Time is starting to soften me towards the Flames, and
that's good. That's good.
I want them to do well. Absolutely.
It's okay. We accept all hockey fans on this program. So yeah, hot listings or hot sales again this week. Really, almost the highest it's been outside of 2 weeks ago. Sales of 551, 372 pendings versus 391 last week, 392 the week before. I mean, really, if you look from a month back, 5 weeks back, we've been plus 300 every single week. So a total of 923 solds and pendings. And that difference of 492, again, on the plus side, is the highest it's been. So for those of you that are waiting for the market to come down, I've been talking about this for a while. I don't think you should wait. I think that with Anita is going to talk about the interest rates rising. Again, when we talk about these benchmark prices, as granular as the house down your street, the house across from me sold for 520 a couple of weeks ago. So that means my house, which is bigger and has a few more features, is going to be worth 540, 550, 560, who knows, right? So that's what is happening. And we're continually seeing that, not only with my listings, with other sales that are going on in the market as well. With 171 price reductions, though, I had a conversation with a client last night who's been thinking about listing her home. And she said, Mark, all these houses are selling for so much money around me. And, do you think we could list for X price? I said, well, I think we're close, but keep in mind, there's still price reductions happening in the market. If it was, if all the pricing of listings was perfect right from the beginning, we would see no price reductions or virtually none. But we're continually seeing, 150 to 180 to 170 price reductions here over the last few weeks. Total detached listings of 1,536. So that's continuing to creep up, but certainly not at the rate that we've seen, Anita, over the past 2, 3, 4 years, where we would see at this time of year 5,000 and 6,000 total listings on the market, right?
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah. So a total listings of 3,121, just a slight increase from last week. So that includes, of course, detached apartment, condominiums, row townhouses, semi-detached. We just don't include recreational properties in that because that's generally not the market that we are working in. So there's the stat story for this week. And then when we look back to a year ago at the same time, a total of 934 sales is the week that ended yesterday. And that includes pendings as well. So that's why, again, these stats are literally screenshotted from the Calgary Real Estate Board website. Total sales last year of 704. So, last year at this time, we were definitely seeing that spring market. We had 1,009 new listings. This is what I'm now finding a lot more interesting as we get more into our spring market. 1,178 new listings as of yesterday during the week. Active listings, 5357 and then 4182 this year. We're still 20% down where we were last year at the same time. Our pendings, again, this has been the story. Our pendings and sales are just way above where they were last year. Median price, average price, as I always say, let's wait till the end of the month till we see our benchmark pricing, which is always the best indication of where our market's at. And then our days on market were down significantly again down to 19. So they've been kind of dropping here. So, it's very interesting. We do have price reductions. We do have some homes that are sitting on the market for a few weeks, but we're still seeing houses that are selling, in a day. So last week, Anita, I put a home on the market up in Livingston, priced at $750, right at what I felt was market value, and we were conditionally sold that evening. So it doesn't seem to matter. I think the biggest gain in sales last month was actually in the 600 to a million price range of all things. So I think what we're seeing is as people are selling in the 3 and 4 and 500s, they're moving up to that higher price range. So we'll throw your interest rates on the screen here as well. Feel free to talk through these. I know you were wanting to talk a little bit about the speed at which interest rates are going up.
Yeah, absolutely. And these interest rates are even a little lower than what's coming up as we see daily. We're getting changes in the interest rate. So the rates today are not going to be the same as what you're going to be able to get tomorrow. So very key is getting a rate locked in. If you're going to, if you're looking to do a mortgage period, whether you're, refinancing, whether you're purchasing, whether you're got a renewal coming up, I think we got to get these pre-approvals on the books because the rates are definitely increasing at a really fast rate. And then also something else to consider too, when you're doing a pre-approval, don't, if someone like a broker like myself, if we say that you're qualified for a $400,000 property in this market, that's not where you should be looking. You should actually be looking in the 350s because, there's a good chance that you're going to be missing out on a lot of opportunities. Because if you're trying to start shopping at the top of your qualified mortgage amount and purchase price, you're not gonna, you're not gonna be able to end up getting that property. You're gonna miss out.
Yeah.
So that's something I think is very important on top of with the pre-approvals is not only lock in the rates, but be realistic when you start shopping and make sure that you're open with your realtor as to this. And those as realtors, I believe is so important to ask what the max is, because then you already know yourself, right? That you're not gonna start shopping at properties in that price range.
Yeah, and I'll just add in there. So I do that with all my clients, with your group there, Anita. And so, we talk about what their max budget is, and then let's say they're interested in Airdrie. I'm very easily able to tell them, well, okay, if you're looking for a single-family detached home with a double detached garage, this is what the average sale to list price ratio is, and in common English is what percentage above list price are these homes actually being sold for? Like in Airdrie, it can be upwards of 5, 6, 7, even 10% above asking price. And that doesn't mean that they were underpriced to begin with. Some circumstances it may, but it's just the demand in the market that is out there for sure. So on those pre-approval locking in a rate, how long can people lock in a rate for right now?
So what we do is we can lock it in for 120 days. Basically, what that's really doing is putting a cap. Although in the rising interest time, it's likely going to be very beneficial for you. But overall, what we say is, if you take possession of a property within this 120-day mark, this is the top rate. That doesn't necessarily mean we can't get you a better rate when that. We can look at other options. Maybe you want to look at a 4-year term instead, where the rate might be slightly lower. Maybe you'd like to look at an adjustable or a variable mortgage.
Right.
Basically what we're doing is putting a cap on it for you. And honestly, I've seen a lot of the rate holds now are surpassing even the best rates on high ratio, quick closes. It's actually, that rate is higher now than what I had in for a rate hold, which hasn't been the case at all for the last couple of years.
Right. And then And then talk a little bit about refinancing as well. Jaden and I do talk about this periodically, but what are some of the benefits for people to look at refinancing now?
Well, there's a lot of people, especially coming from the pandemic. Lots of, people got behind on bills. Credit cards, lines of credit got increased to higher balances. So their monthly obligations are, becoming a lot more hard to deal with. So in a market like today, where you're planning to keep your house, we already know your property has increased in value significantly
Mhm.
over the past year. So that's a great opportunity for you to pull some equity out, put it towards all your debts, because the rates are still a heck of a lot less than you're going to be paying on those interests on your credit cards. And if you're going to be you might be doing fine making your minimum payments and et cetera, but really you're just putting yourself in a never, never planned. If you're making
Mhm.
those payments, you're never going to pay off those credit cards. So it's going to be better for you to refinance your mortgage, pay off your credit cards, increase your amortization if you're short on cash so that you can, your minimum payment requirement is going to be, comfortable for you. And then when you have extra cash, start chipping back away at that principal. I think that's going to be the best bet for you. And something else in this market with the interest rates rising, the or the early payout penalties, pardon me, are going to be lower than they would have had you have thought about doing this refinancing or breaking your mortgage early last year.
Mhm.
Rising interest rates today, when the IRD calculations come into effect, then you're going to be paying less for those. So it's, if it didn't look like it was a good option for you last year, don't give up on that. Now's a good time to reevaluate that, and getting back in contact with myself, Jaden, and another broker. But definitely, it's time to reevaluate that, because now is the time to do it.
That's fantastic. Great information as always from our amazing mortgage brokers,
Yeah.
Anita Lemke, Jaden Bax, and Anita. Thank you so much for stepping in, pinch hitting today. And I've got a phone call coming in. So with that, I'll let you go, Anita. Thank you so much, and have a great week, everybody. And we will talk to you in 7 days.
All right. Thanks, Mark. Have a great day.